Back for part two of the show on how to buy a house. We've covered lots of issues already, but one of the most important points is once you've selected a developer, a good developer, how do you know whether the house that has been built is of the quality that will last? So this is a question that I would first start asking. So if I'm buying, let's say, a DDC land house, what quality can you assure me that I will get in my house?
It's typhoon proof because our houses are built with buhos and the glasses are very strong. It's a tempered glass,
Right.
and we have actually a 3-layered roofing. And around the area is it's surrounded with electric fence, so you can feel secure and you can assure the quality is really good.
But so the house is built in such a way it will last a long, long, long time.
Yeah.
So how about the other houses in the area, Joanna? You know all the other houses as well. Are they all at this level, or does it depend on what you pay?
I guess the only problem there is the flood zone, flood area all the time. But the quality, because right now we have this prefab, sir.
Yes.
The
But will they last 100 years?
I cannot answer that. Not until it's proven and tested.
Tested,
Yeah.
yes.
But if it's a foreign, normally we have foreigners that are collaborating with the Filipino,
Okay.
doing this prefab. I think they're, because example, like in Japan, there's earthquake, right? So the quality that they're using for the prefab is sustainable for the earthquake, how do you call that?
Are any of
quality.
the developers offering guarantees, long guarantees on their houses, like 25-year guarantees? Is anybody offering that? I don't know.
For the houses?
For the houses, no?
Not really.
Because, I mean, you can't guarantee against earthquakes and things like that,
No,
right? It's
you can't,
impossible.
you can't.
But the quality of the house is important,
Yeah.
because if you want to sell a house, if you don't just buy to live it. You can buy a house and live there forever, but a lot of people move, so they may want to buy a bigger house or they move to a different area,
Right.
and then they want to sell that house.
For
so
me, the thing there is the materials.
okay, very
If
important.
it's really durable
Yes.
and sustainable, and at the same time, if you know the weather, like let's say if you're talking about Cavite, it's almost like near Tagaytay, right? So the climate
It's cooler.
is cooler, right? So just make sure that the materials you're using are quality,
Okay. So,
standards.
and
standards.
are all the developers using similar standards, or have they all got their own standards?
Well, again, that's basically depending on what bracket are you, if you're in the,
Depends on how much you pay.
yes, exactly,
Okay,
and
all
how
right.
much amount.
Okay.
house amount.
That's good. So again, if I was a buyer, how would I find out? Let's say I've selected 5 developers. Do I have to go and visit these developers?
No.
Or are there other places? How do I find an agent that will represent me, get me the best deal on the house that I want to buy?
In
How will
my
that work?
experience, Sir Carl, because I normally sell condominiums as well as the commercial offices, yes, it really matters. The developer has to have a track record of at least 5 to 10 years.
Yes. So that's important, but
Very.
make sure that they're going to be around and the house is going to be of the right quality,
Right.
everything else. So if I want to buy, I want to see where do I get a discount, or where do I get the best low-cost mortgage? Are there not specialists, are there not people that I can talk to that can give me the best overall deal? So here's a house that I like. What I want now, I want the best price on that house, I want the lowest cost mortgage on that house. Are there people that organize that, or do I have to arrange that myself?
It's a case-to-case basis. Well, sometimes like in the project of the,
Yeah.
How about your projects, the projects that you're working on with DDC Land? How do you help a client select the best deal, best price on the house, best mortgage rate? How do you organize that?
Based on their background.
Yeah.
If, like for example, if for me, I would recommend at first of course the best house from the top,
Yeah.
the most quality houses that
Right.
we're selling. Then if that's too much for them, we can go for a little lower, but still it has the quality and durability of
How
what
about
they've been looking
discounts?
for.
If the house hasn't been built yet, am I able to get a better price or than I would if I waited for the house to be finished? Is it better to buy before the house is finished?
I really highly recommend the pre-selling.
Yeah.
For the lots, well, of course you cannot just say that, oh, you have to wait for the pre-sale. No, because the lot is a lot,
A
right?
lot's lot, yes.
Yeah,
But
and it
typic-
appreciates.
It appreciates. But if you have houses, let's say some developers, I guess DD Sedan's one, they will tell you what houses will be built there. Other developers, like for instance Ayala, they will say buy the lot and then you can design it yourself, depending how much you pay, right? On the
30%,
bigger.
you have to really put
But
down
again,
30%.
the design of the house you can choose too. In some places you cannot. Sometimes it's a
It's a theme, there's a theme actually.
Sometimes there's a theme, and sometimes actually you can build whatever you want within reasons, and they can then okay it or not. I think the more upmarket, the more expensive lots, I guess.
As long as the standards of the building codes,
Are
you
met.
have to get the approval of, let's say, example, the Ayala land,
Yes,
you have
yes.
to get approval from them.
Oh yeah,
before
that
you
I
start,
understand.
yeah.
Because if you had some weird castle in the middle
Yeah,
of
exactly.
a place, they would not like that. And I understand that. But I think the quality is important. And do you have special deals like does Pag-ibig offer special low interest rate on houses? If you can get a Pag-ibig loan? Let's say a house is 5 million peso, for example, and let's say you deposit 1 million. Will Pag-ibig, depending on what you earn, right? Will Pag-ibig lend you 4 million, for example, if your earnings are high enough, over 25 years? Will they do that? Or,
Yeah, I guess.
or are there maximums? No maximum, it depends on how much you earn?
Depends on how much you earn.
Okay. So what interest rate would that be now today with Pag-ibig? What typically is it 8%, 7%? Do you know what it is?
For the bank financing, as far as I know, it's for the condominiums.
Yes.
China Bank has
Yes.
the lowest, 3.75.
That's very low, yeah, that's low. That's very low.
Yes.
That's pro rata.
And
that's very low.
depends on the client actually, Sir Carl, because sometimes there are clients, they prefer their own bank.
And they already have experience with that bank, so they get a better deal with that bank. So
Exactly,
you can
yes.
do that. But not everybody is like that. So a lot of buyers in the Cavite Laguna area would be maritime people who aren't here a lot because they're on boats and ships.
So their wives.
So their wives are there, but they earn a lot of money. So
Yes.
they've got the capability of buying. Some will pay cash, some will have a mortgage, right?
Yes.
There'll be different people. And I guess in your territory, is a high percentage, are they maritime people?
Yes.
So, okay, there's a lot of maritime people, okay. Now the call center agents are earning more and more,
Yes,
so they can
very.
also start buying.
Yeah.
Traditionally they've rented, but now they're starting to buy, correct?
Going to buy. Yes.
That's better, smarter move, I think,
They
to
are.
invest it like that. So what will the future hold for the valuation of property? If you look at the areas, like Makati, for example, which is high, always has been high.
Yes.
Then there's BGC, Fort Bonifacio. Then there's Laguna, Cavite. You know that Laguna, Cavite is growing very, very quickly. And
Fast.
as long as the transportation improves, people can live there, and it hasn't got to be too expensive. They can live there. But what about the valuation of some of the other areas? Like, if I bought a house today in Laguna or Cavite for 1.5 million, 3 years later, it's worth 3 million, is what you just said, right? That's a tremendous
That's true.
return on investment. That's
Yes.
100%
ROI.
in 3 years. That's 33% a year. That's amazing. That's very, very
Because
good.
the development is gearing towards Calabar zone area.
Yes.
Actually, it's like the little Makati already.
Mm.
Some
So whole
people-
new cities, like New Valley, for example, is a whole new city.
Right.
Santa Rosa has been totally overturned. And now Dasmariñas and General Trias, they're next, right, on that list. Molino, Bacoor, all those areas are starting to boom with new houses, right? And when the houses are there and the people live there, I guess some of the industries will move there too, because the rent or the land prices in say BGC or Makati are sky
Quite
high,
high.
right?
It's very much expensive.
So if their staff are moving out, they might as well move with the staff. Now there was a rumor that PLDT had some property out in the Cavite area that they were going to move their headquarters there, but they went very quiet. But I mean, why should they not do it? They're a classic example. They have lots
Yeah.
of employees.
Yeah.
A lot of staff will be living there. I think that would be a great idea if they could do that, right? But are some areas not overheating in the valuation of properties? So you see Calabarzon, I don't think is overheating because there's a huge percentage of people moving out there. But how about, say, for example, Fort Bonifacio? Aren't the prices there kind of high for what you get? What's your opinion?
Well, now the Philippine Stock Exchange will soon merge. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So I guess that's why everything's
Because there
yeah.
always was a story in the Philippines. Property prices never go down, they always go
go
up. I've got news for people here. I mean, I've lived in Hong Kong and in London. Yes, of course, on average, the prices go up, but there are times when things get hot, like in China also, and all of a sudden they start to plummet. In Hong Kong, in 6 months, in 1997, the property prices plummeted by 70%, 7-0, within 6 months. Now, it's quadrupled. It's gone through the roof again, right? So you have to be patient.
Yeah.
And I can't really see it being like that here.
Probably it's a demand over supply sometimes. Like
Yeah,
office
but
space or
no, this wasn't office space. This was a
No.
living
yeah, I
accommodation.
know. No,
It
but
was-
the trend now, Mr. Carl, actually
Yeah.
is like, me and some of my friends, we have this group. We all came from Mega World, if I have the to mention it, and then we form our own group.
Yeah.
And it's like there's a space there that we have it leased out to some people. So it's like virtual offices. That's a trend actually now. So you have a 1,800 square meter of area, and then you're not alone. You have it leased out.
There's
because-
KMAC does that. KMAC, and who else is it? The
Rufino and
Regis.
Rufino Tower,
There are
yeah.
people doing that
Hub,
for
Hub
business.
Manila, yeah,
for business.
it's one.
But for community, for living, it's still you own your own house
Well,
or your
of
own
course.
apartments. Yeah.
Definitely.
So if I had a house, if I had enough money to buy a house, say one of your houses in North Dasma for 5.3 million, let's say 5 million, 5.3 million, that'll last over 100 years, which is built so solidly, right? Can I expect within the next 5 years, you don't have to tell me, but can you expect within the next 5 years to at least double my money in a house like that if I sold it? But what do you feel?
Well, yeah, probably. For the next 5 years, it will be double.
Because in that area where you are, I happen to know that area quite well, you're surrounded by other property developers who have just started. It's booming. There's new roads being built, right? So at the end of the day, and the new houses that are being built are still going up and up and up in price. So if you have the space that you have for your house, which I think is 100 square meters or something, how much is the house size?
It's 198, 196.
Right.
96, 98
96, 120. yeah.
meter, and then on 3 stories, then if you have that, I mean, you've got more space than you get in by any of the other developers. The house is built of higher quality, so when everybody else moves around you and then sees what you have, your prices will shoot up, and everybody will want to live there because you're a smaller subdivision of 128 houses. That particular place is 128 houses.
Actually, we're the only real estate that has a 3-story building, 3-story houses.
Everybody else is 2-story
Yeah.
that I know of, yeah. So 3 stories is very German, Swiss.
Yeah, very.
Because I lived in Germany and I had a 3-story house or 4-story house there. Big, right?
And your maids will be so lucky, huh?
Yeah, and it's very good. It's very,
Yeah.
very good. So I think it's probably a good investment, right, the house there. So you don't think the property market's too hot? You still think there's room for growth the next 10 years? Because people have to move somewhere, live somewhere. Population growth is there.
Exactly.
All we need is new industries.
It's a master plan, actually, after all, that, you know.
What we need is new industries. We need the OFWs who are currently going overseas, who can still buy houses here, right? We want them to stay here, stay with their families, and build
That's true.
houses and
Not
live here.
importing anymore our fellow men.
No, we should not
Yeah.
export our fellow men. We
Yes.
should bring industry here
Yes.
and keep them here so the families can stay together and live together in these new homes. So I know the maritime people who are buying the houses, right, everywhere,
Right.
especially in your place. They're on boats, ships all the time, but they want their families to be safe. You give them that safe environment, whether there's a storm or from robberies by having gates around them and shops nearby. That's a very good thing. So what do you think is going to happen to the future of the market? Do you think we're going to see more prefab housing coming, or do you think that will all change? I don't know. When it comes to the building of houses, how do you think that market will change in the next few years?
Oh yeah. I guess because of the population growth, we cannot. How the population now is already around six something.
Yeah, more than.
More than. I guess yes. Prefab is the best.
Quickest.
Yes. Very for me. Very convenient, and as long as the standards, you stick to the standards of the quality.
I think
of
it'll be a mixture. Like I see your houses, they're so solid, man. I'd have a house that I know it lasts forever, right? But on the other hand, you know, I understand the way that the property companies are sometimes. They want to build quickly, right?
Right.
So, and then in China, they're building 50-story buildings in 3 months. Seriously, prefab. Boom, 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 up it goes.
Imagine. Yeah.
Would you want to stay in that building though? I don't know. You see, we don't know enough about
Well,
that
in
industry.
Japan, actually, Mr. Carl, there's a space that you'll never even think that it's like a long, you know, it's like probably 3-story or something, but it's prefab, and people really, you know,
So you can't knock it until you see it.
Well,
see the
true.
quality, right?
Yeah.
So I can't. Time will tell what happens. So what do you think will happen to the property industry in the next 5 years, Kim? What will we see changing? Anything in particular that you think will change in the property industry in the next few years?
For sure, there will be a lot of changes. Property industries, it will, for the next 5 years, it will go boom, just up.
Still booming.
Yeah, it's still booming.
That's good. That's good news. What do you think, Joanne? What will
Oh.
happen to our
very
property
interesting
business?
times in the country, especially the Philippines, because right now we're number one actually when it comes to real estate. Yes, I agree. Not only BPOs, but really, because real estate, you never go wrong. Once you have a land, a property, either you sell it or you have it leased out. Wow, definitely. And the infrastructures in our country now is really well planned or master planned by our
Yes.
president. So
Yes.
hopefully things will go much
I think the
way
new
better.
president has done a good job in
Yeah,
looking at the
or
infrastructure.
right track actually.
He's on the right
so
track.
The
Right.
best.
Just to finish off, I'd like you to perhaps give you a quick summary, 15-second summary of, and then also how people can contact you
Oh, yeah.
afterwards. 15-second summary of the property market here.
Well, I'm not a millennial. I'm older than them. But what I suggest really is the best time is to buy now,
Yes.
especially house and lot if you can afford,
Yes.
somewhere in the Calabar zone area.
Uh-huh.
Not also to name other places like Bacolod, Iloilo, Davao, Cebu, elsewhere. But this is the best time to buy.
Good.
Properties.
And how do people contact you?
Oh yeah, you can just email me at Joan, JOANDELOSS @gmail.com.
Okay.
I have a FB account. Well, you can try Mary Joan. Oh, there you go. You
Okay.
can ask.
Kim, how about you? How do they contact you? Give me a quick summary.
You can just search us on Google, just Diddy's Land, and it will just pop up on the top. And or you can also search us in Facebook page. We have a Facebook page.
And a phone number? You have a phone number?
Phone number
What with it?
551
551-8888.
8
888.
551 8888. So this was the show today. Sitting in for Harry about how to buy a house in the Philippines, what people will look at when they buy a house, the potential and the ongoing profitability of investing in property, especially in Calabazon. Thank you and good night.